are mandatory on planes, buses, and trains after a federal judge in Florida knocked down the CDC rule.
Within minutes of the Biden administration announcing the TSA would no longer enforce its mask mandate following the court ruling out of Florida, airlines began announcing masks are now optional. United and Alaska Airlines were first. Delta Airlines CEO Ed Bastian has been saying the mandate needed to go.
We've done it for 2 years, and it's time to move beyond that and now make that the responsibility of individuals.
And so today, on board many planes and in many airports, for the first time in a long time, masks are only for those who choose to wear them. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That move comes as Americans remove the masks and COVID cases rise.
The American Academy of Pediatrics says infection rates among children are soaring for the first time since January, with hospitalization rates for children under 4 currently at their highest point of the pandemic. Across the country, new COVID cases are rising in at least 34 states. Rates overall up over 20% in the last week. Emwin, ABC News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukrainians will fight and defend themselves even as Russia begins yet another attack.
Russia's long-anticipated offensive in eastern Ukraine appears to be underway. A U.S. defense official estimates Russia has recently added 11,000 troops to its forces already in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky saying a very large part of the entire Russian army is now focused on this offensive.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen convening a meeting with global leaders in Washington today to discuss rising food prices and food insecurity. A recent UN report said the number of undernourished people in the world could increase by 8 million next year. There are more than 200,000 power outages in the New York and Pennsylvania area following a strong nor'easter overnight. You're listening to ABC News.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit and little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, text FREE to 99799.
The suspect in a double murder in Florida is offering a supernatural defense. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
27-year-old Alexandra Capullo told Palm Beach Gardens police, quote, "The occult made me do this." Police entered her home to find the bodies of her mother and fiance, both shot and killed. Police say she was unconscious when they arrived for a welfare check, and Capullo briefly gained consciousness and made that comment before passing back out. In executing a search warrant, police found a note saying it was in self-defense, also blaming the occult, as well as her last will and testament. Capullo is charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
A federal judge is allowing a lawsuit to go forward challenging the re-election bid of Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. A group of Georgia voters trying to make the case that her role in the January 6th Capitol Hill riot disqualifies her from running. Okay, a visit to a dentist turned into a quick trip to the hospital for a Wisconsin man. Listen to this. He coughed in the middle of a procedure and somehow sucked in an inch-long dental drill bit into his lung. Tom Josie says, didn't really feel like anything.
I didn't really even feel it going down. All I did was really felt a cough.
It was so deep in his lung, the normal tool doctors would use couldn't reach it. Instead of cutting open his lung, though, doctors tried a device normally used for early cancer detection and managed to pull it out. Josie says he still has the drill bit on a shelf at home as a souvenir. This is ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
Sherry Preston, ABC.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Should you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherford. That phone number is 288-0395.
Good morning. Today's forecast, bright and sunny. It will still be cool, though, and windy as well. High temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s this afternoon. Tonight, a threat of a frost with clear skies. Low temperatures fall into the mid to upper 30s, so keep your winter coats handy and make sure you protect your plants. Tomorrow, we begin a warm-up. It's mostly sunny and milder. High temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
She's talking about cold tonight, but right now it is 41 degrees here in Rutherford. A little cooler than usual for this time of morning here the past few days, but it is warming up nicely, up to about 65 for a daytime high here. Wind gusting about 15 miles per hour, which is going to make it feel a lot cooler. Then tonight, dropping back to clear skies at around mid-30s, maybe even frosting tonight. Warming back up tomorrow to 67. Right now, again, 41 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherford. Now I have these death announcements. Russell Cotton Downey, age 77, of Rutherford, passed away Friday, April 15th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills in Forest City. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at the Missionary Wesleyan Church, with Reverend Jason Madison and Reverend Jerry Roop officiating. Burial will follow at Eternal Hills Memorial Park. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with the arrangements for Russell Cotton Downey. Gary Roberts, age 73, of Lake Lure, passed away April 17th at his home on Grassy Knob Road. A graveside service will be held today at 2 o'clock at the home of 1105 Grassy Knob Road, Mill Springs. And Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Gary Roberts. C. Kenton Weatherman, age 88, of Rutherford, died Saturday, April 16th at Hospice House of the Carolina Foothills. The family will receive friends from 2 until 3 o'clock Wednesday, April 20th, at Shingle Hollow Congregational Holiness Church. The funeral service will be at 3 o'clock Wednesday at Shingle Hollow Congregational Holiness Church, and burial will be at the church cemetery. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for C. Kenton Weatherman. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherford. Friends of the NRA event is coming up Tuesday, May 10th at the Tryon Equestrian Center in 25 International Boulevard, Mill Spring at 5:30. And Thermal Belt Friends of NRA inviting you to come be a part of that. Tickets are $50 each. And it's a lot of great evening of fun, auctioning guns, and winning prizes and good food available. If you'd like to know more about this or go in and get tickets, call Dale Ramsey at 828-429-0392. That's 429-0392. And May 1st is the cutoff time for that. This morning, 8:30, about 8:35, my interview with the sheriff's candidate starts with Aaron Ellenberg first off this morning at 8:30. Thursday morning there'll be Theo in, and we'll find out more about these candidates and what they would like to accomplish should they be elected. And we're moving on down the line. We have invited all the local candidates and Rutherford County candidates that are subject to a primary to be involved in this interview process. And some of them have responded. Others have not yet responded. We'll see if they indeed want to come and talk to me. Right now we're going to go to the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update, find out what he's got on his mind this morning. It's always very interesting, but we'll see. Here comes Bill.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, did you know that cars today have more tech than the first spaceship? Something's guaranteed to break. That's why you need CarShield. When you need a repair, you can choose the mechanic, and CarShield gets the rest taken care of. Plans through CarShield even provide rental car options, roadside assistance, trip reimbursement, all at no extra cost. So get covered today and save 10%. Please go to carshield.com/bill or call 800-391-8888. A deductible may apply. On this Tuesday, I am thinking that many Americans are lazy. Outside of making a living, they don't really want to exert much energy improving their country. Others can do that, right? Two vivid examples. While the people cannot do much about the incredible incompetence of the Biden administration, they can demonstrate visible displeasure with absurd and dangerous situations. Far-left loons control the New York State legislature, and their soft-on-crime policies have left thousands dead and maimed. Most of those affected are poor minorities. Have there been street protests in New York City? No. Have there been protests in Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Seattle, and other violent places? No. Massive protests were held after the death of George Floyd, but nothing over the murders of thousands of his countrymen. Want another? The airline industry is hurting Americans by delays and cancellations. The airline moguls routinely lie about not having enough pilots and flight crews to operate scheduled flights. Pete Buttigieg, the transportation secretary, will not do anything because he doesn't care. So the airlines bank your money while Americans suffer. Now, I tried to organize a citizens' revolt against this horrendous situation, but the response was tepid. So the airport will continue to be a chaos zone. Few problems get solved without pressure. The American people still retain the power to improve their lives. We'll see that this coming November when the Democrats get hammered. But voting is not enough. We must be active. Now this. AMAC is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits, insightful news, and a magazine full of uncensored content. They are pushing back against efforts to defund the police, weaken the borders, and corrupt our youth. But they need your help. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
As a young girl, Phoebe Ann Moses had a natural skill with a rifle. She not only provided meat for her family, she harvested enough to sell it to stores. As a 15-year-old, she defeated a traveling sharpshooter by the name of Frank Butler. Frank was so smitten with her that later they got married. When Frank's partner became ill, Phoebe Ann took his place and became Annie Oakley. On April 17, 1885, Frank and Annie happened to be performing in New Orleans at the same time as Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Frank and Annie asked Buffalo Bill for a job. Buffalo Bill said that he had plenty of sharpshooters, so Frank offered to work for free. In Louisville, Kentucky, Annie Oakley got her first chance to perform. The crowd of 17,000 fell in love with her. Dressed in cowboy boots and a wide-brimmed hat, within a short time, Annie Oakley became the star of the show and traveled with Buffalo Bill for 17 years. Annie never signed a contract with Buffalo Bill, saying his words were more than most contracts. Buffalo Bill called her Little Missy. Sitting Bull called her Little Sure Shot. Her husband, Frank Butler, was known as Mr. Annie Oakley. At the age of 41, Buffalo Bill's train crashed, seriously hurting Annie. Because of ongoing back problems, she stopped traveling and began performing on stage and teaching shooting skills. After an automobile accident, she retired from the spotlight, and in 1926 she died. Devastated, her loving husband passed away 3 weeks later. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Lives say.
Jesse James Railroad Express has added 2 new sandwiches to their menu. Try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only, hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Congratulations to Jesse James Railroad Express, voted 2021 Best of Rutherford County hot dogs and hamburgers 5 years in a row.
All right, let's head to the phones now this terrific Tuesday morning and talk with Sheriff Chris Francis about what's been happening in the world of crime fighting in Rutherford County. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you doing?
I am well, Jim Bishop. I hope you are.
I am indeed well. Glad to see another day.
That's exactly right, and glad to hear your voice.
Thank you. What's on the report today?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 167 calls for service. There have been 12 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 181. Among those arrested, Tariq Lannon Logan, 34-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply child support, received a $900 cash bond. Caitlin Page Smith, 28-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear of felonies and received a $10,000 secure bond. Kyle Reese Ledford, 39-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Juan Ibarra, 36-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault by pointing a gun, communicating threats, and assaulting a female. We'll see a district court judge today for bond. Jamie Helen Bradshaw, 34-year-old female, was charged with impeding traffic and some failure to appear and is incarcerated on a secure bond. Pauline Michelle Melton, 31-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply, ordered for arrest, received a $300 cash bond. Aaron Nicholas Langley, 30-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged on 3 counts of failure to appear and is also incarcerated on secure bonds. Deborah Mara Lowry, 38-year-old female of Boston, was charged with possession of meth, received a $10,000 unsecured bond. Brooke McCurry Tipton, 39-year-old female of Ellenberg, was charged on 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $1,500 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a break-in and larceny on Airwood Road in Ruston. We are pending the inventory on that. Had a damaged property on High Shoals Church Road in Mooresboro. There were several windows broken out there on that property. And we had a larceny on Poors Ford Road. Someone had allowed, the victim had allowed the suspect to use their vehicle, and when the vehicle was returned, an iPhone 13, about $800, was stolen or taken, and do believe that there was obtained property by false pretense that was sold for $300, but that is still under investigation. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
All right, Sheriff. Thank you very much for that report, and I hope you have a great day. Be safe out there.
Yes, sir. I would like to mention we have a drug take-back. It's a little early. It's going to be on April the 30th, a little bit early to publicize it, but it's very important. We're partnering with United Way. We'll be doing this on Saturday, April the 30th. It'll be from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock at the Senior Center there at 273 Callahan Coon Road in Spindale. So you'll probably hear me talk about it a few more times between now and then, but go ahead and be prepared to turn over those drugs before somebody takes those and gets hurt or something bad happens with them.
Those things have been successful, too, over the years, haven't they?
We have taken back a lot of prescription medications as well as others that would not be good for our groundwater system and certainly not going to be good if someone takes them who shouldn't. So we very much appreciate this partnership and our citizens assisting us in getting those off the streets.
We'll keep that at the top of our mind, and we will talk about it later on, too, and you have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. And here's Amanda now with 911 Communications Center report. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
Oh, in the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 436 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 55 for the emergency medical services, 167 for the Sheriff's Office, 78 for Forest City, 7 for Lake Lure, 38 for Rutherford, and 31 for Spindale. Cherry Mountain Fire Department had 2 motor vehicle crashes, and Cliffside had a residential fire alarm. And that is all.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Now, Danieltown SDO report is up next. And Ruby Taylor, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report, Ruby?
Well, the fire department's been quiet, and I got one birthday today, and that's Carol Sapahall. Hope she has a nice day, and the signs are in the thighs today and going to the knees tomorrow, and that's all I got.
All right, Ruby, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Okay.
All right,
bye-bye.
bye. Braves are out at Los Angeles. They're playing the Dodgers, and it's a 10-10 pitch, so we will not be carrying those late games. We don't have the staff to hang around here over midnight for those games, but as soon as they get back in decent daylight hours in the East Coast, we'll have another game. I think we have one Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock first pitch, and that's with the Dodgers as well. We got to pick up some momentum. They got to get their mojo back. And we're getting up to Fairfield Mountains Fire District now, and Gary Wilson is on the phone, and you get that phone call to him in just a moment. And now here's Gary Wilson. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
I am well and happy. Hope you are.
Doing about the same. Maybe this is our last cool snap.
I hope so, don't you?
It looks like it's going to be for this week anyway. It's cool tonight, and then toward the weekend, they're showing temperatures up in the low to mid-80s. So,
yeah, I hope tonight's not going to be cold enough it's going to hurt the plants and flowers are out.
Yeah, I do too. There could be some light frost scattered around tonight, so I'll have to watch for that. So, after that, looks like we got clear sailing, so it'll be good. And we've had quite 24 hours, no calls in the last 24 hours, sitting on about 40 degrees this morning, and we'll be a little cooler than that tonight, they say, so we'll have to hold off and see what that frost does. But get past that, maybe we'll be okay for the summer then.
We may have to put another log on the fireplace tonight.
Yep, this will be good. Sure will. That's about all we got up here, Jim. Everything going pretty good.
Gary, thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.
All right, you have a good one.
Thanks. 23 minutes after 7. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there. Let's check in now with Bostic with DeVern Upton. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, that is great. Well, we have 40 degrees over here in Bostic this morning. It's a cool morning. The fire department responded to 2 medical calls and stopped in at Washburn store in Bostic Sunshine Highway and check out the items there in the store. Bostic Florist, if you need flower arrangements, stop in there off of Bostic Sunshine Highway. and the kids are out of school this week for spring break. Hope they have a safe week and enjoy their week off. And hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Well, hope you have a great day as well, Devern, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You know, I've had folks over the years tell me how frustrating and aggravating it can be when they get an illness or an ache and pain, and then they try to claim an insurance on that, and insurance won't cover it, or they have to go through a bunch of things to get satisfied with that insurance. Well, you'll be happy to know that there's an alternative to that. Quality primary health care and urgent care services for you and your family without the hassles. It's available to you and your family from Brock Family Care. Family medicine the way it ought to be. No insurance to deal with, general primary medical care, chronic disease prevention and management, urgent care, medication management, and so forth and so on and on it goes. Brock Family Care is a membership-based model where patients pay their primary care provider directly through monthly or annual fees rather than paying through an insurance provider. Not accepting any forms of health insurance cuts out the hassles and allows for more personalized and affordable health care. Isn't that something you really want? It may be time to move into a health plan like this one for your family or your business. Why don't you call and inquire about this? Maybe check their website at brockfamilycare.com. Drive out to see them at 289 Shallow Road, Forest City. Primary health care without all the hassles from Brock Family Care. brockfamilycare.com. Here's Bob Hodge now reporting to us from all the way up in Hudlow Fire District. Bob, how you doing this morning?
We're done just fine on that chilly Tuesday morning.
Boy, it's turned out to be almost like fall of the year, does it?
That's right there, yeah. Oh, yeah, we had warmer temperature than this in December, didn't we?
I think we did, Bob. Yeah, big difference.
But that sun's real bright this morning, so it'll warm up. And look like the rest of the week's going to get back up to spring, and look like over the weekend back to summertime weather there. So,
oh, yeah.
So it don't take long for it to warm back up. And Jim, up there with the fire department, it's been quiet. We think for one medical call, and there'll be a blood drive at April the 25th at Railton Town Hall, and that starts from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Jim, that's about all I have up here. Things going along quiet so far this morning.
All right, Bob, I appreciate you very much, and thanks for being there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And you can catch Bob most afternoons, too, with the Afternoon Call and Report with Kevin Pleasant.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Let's say good morning to Sue Price over in the Cherry Mountain Fire District. How you doing today, Sue?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing good. Hope you are.
You warm enough?
Yeah, I'm warm. I'm staying in.
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
It is kind of really chilly out there.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll be getting warmer days pretty soon. Well, let's see. The fire department had 2 wreck calls on my church calendar today. I've got a birthday for Chelsea Gaddis. And on my personal calendar, I've got Christy Hefner, Beatrice Lucky Doo. She's my cousin. Hope she has a good day. And Jackie Price. So hope they'll all have a good day today. And First Broad has a birthday for Christy Hefner. And nothing on Fairviews today. In my announcements, the Piney Mountain Boys will be singing at the Ducky's Creek Church Sunday at 11 a.m. service. And let's see, the Golden Valley Community Club will be meeting on the 25th. And then the club is going to be having a fundraiser on Saturday the 30th. We'll be having hamburgers and hot dogs and the trimmings and so forth. And it's for donations only from 11 to 2 o'clock. The Golden Valley Crusaders are going to be in concert Sunday, April 24th at 2 p.m. at the Ellenberg Community Church, and that's on Main Street in Ellenberg. And the special guests will be the South Mountain Boys, South Mountain Singers. No admission, love offering will be taken, and everyone's welcome. And I'm sure that'll be a good singing. Love the Golden Valley Crusaders.
So do I.
And as far as I know, Jim, that's the only announcements I have. It's just quiet and calm over here. Looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Well, thank you, and I hope you have a good day, too, and enjoy it, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's Cherry Mountain reporter Sue Price checking in with us. Now we've got a couple more, 2 or 3 more stops to make this morning. Remember, coming up at 8:30, my interviews with the sheriff candidates start. First one is Aaron Ellenberg. He'll be on this morning. Theo on Thursday morning, and we'll continue. Next week, we'll start with the school board candidates. Some of those have checked in, some of them have not. We'll see what's going to take place with, I think I see, looks like about 2 or 3 have not yet even checked in one way or the other. So I don't know what their plans are, but if they want to be on the radio and get some exposure, we'll certainly give that to them. These interviews are, of course, free time. They're not paid advertisements. They're free time to give you an opportunity to learn who they are and a little bit more about them. And some of them accept it, and some of them do not, and some of them ignore it altogether. So we'll let you know who is coming and who is not. Next week, school board starts. Then we'll be narrowing in close to the election. Election, of course, is on the 17th of May, which is rolling right here pretty soon. We'll keep you posted on the early voting, too, and where the precincts are, and everything will be just fine. We'll try to get in touch with the folks over at our drop-in store in just a moment.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Can't get drop in on the phone this morning, but I can remind you they have a great meat market over there, fresh meat, freshly cut. Cut what you need and size you want for your steaks or your cookouts. So go see them for that fresh meat. Plus all that food in the deli there that's so fresh and prepared the way you like it as well. So go see them and shop some groceries at our locally owned drop-in family store there in Boston Sunshine Highway. They got convenient hours. They got a great produce stand. It's just an amazing store, unlike many of the other convenience stores around the area. So do that, and it's locally owned, too. That's the drop-in store family market there in Boston, right across from the post office. Now we're jumping over from there over to Shingle Hollow, and Tina White's on the phone. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, making me hungry talking about all that good stuff over at the drop-in.
Oh, I know it. I'd like to do a broadcast of that over there sometime in the morning so I can just smell that food and eat some at breakfast while I'm talking on the radio.
I can already feel the calories, feel the weight coming on just listening from here.
Yeah, I feel fatter just talking about it.
Well, up here in Shingle Hollow this morning, it is 41 degrees. We have a birthday on Pleasant Grove's calendar for Mr. Kyle Whiteside. I hope he has a wonderful birthday. White House Community Clubhouse says to invite everyone to their country buffet breakfast this Saturday, the 23rd, from 7 to 10 a.m. $7 for adults, $5 for children. 5 and under eat for free. And again, they have sausage and liver mush and gravies and potatoes and apples and biscuits and just jams and jellies. It's a really good breakfast. Everyone can plan on coming on out for that Saturday. And that's all I have this morning.
All righty. You got big plans today?
I do. I go to Asheville for some IV treatments today.
Okay, well, I hope that goes well for you.
It will go well. I had a big day yesterday, too. I went with our youth to Dollywood, and what a wonderful day. I'm wore out this morning.
Oh, I bet you are. That's quite a trip to make, isn't it?
I thought about calling in. Say, I'm not going to be on the radio this morning. But no, I woke up just fine.
You're a real trooper.
Well, I'm blessed and highly favored, and just give God the glory that I'm able to get up and run around. So everyone, have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, Tina.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tina White reporting out of Shingle Hollow this morning, and we'll get over to Union Mills right after this.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Jumping from Shingle Hollow to Union Mills is quite a jump, but we can do that. We're still energetic and young this early morning. Let's head up there right now and talk with Brenda Kelly and see what kind of news is coming out of the top of the hill there in Union Mills. Good morning, Brenda. Guess I better click her button over here. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this terrific Tuesday morning?
I'm great.
Are you a little bit cold around the edges?
I was when I got out of the house this morning.
I'm telling you.
It was a little bit dippy out there.
It is. And I've checked my thermometer 3 different times, and it's still sitting on 28 degrees.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. And there's frost everywhere on the cars and stuff. So.
My goodness.
Yeah.
You're in a winter wonderland up there.
That's right. I usually run right along with whatever Asheville's temperature will be. They may be 2 or 3 degrees difference, but I'm off up here in the middle of the woods, and it's shady, and there's no asphalt to help keep it warm. So, and no cars, so it makes a difference, I reckon.
You have to wear that jacket all the time, don't you?
That's exactly right. I keep it handy.
Have you ever been to Dollywood?
No, I don't get into amusement parks and things like that. Never have really cared for them. But I've been up to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and all that. I like to go in the shops and antique stores and things like that.
Yeah, well, you'd love Dollywood then. They got a lot of those.
Have they? Okay. Well, maybe I need to go.
A lot of musical events, a lot of shows, a lot of music, and a lot of entertainment.
Listen, you have to go a long way to beat Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
She is special.
She is special. Kingdom Airs have a home there. They sing there all the time.
I went up there, I don't know, several years back to hear some singers. I can't remember what they went by, the Mystery Men or something like that.
Yeah, there used to be a group called Mystery Men, yeah.
Yeah, and Chip Cooper sang with them.
Yes, that's correct.
And so I went up there to hear him.
Yeah. Last time I saw Chip, he was working, not at Dollywood, but working there in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
Doing something, but
yeah, he was. Yeah. See, we know some of the same people, don't we?
We do. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I don't have any birthdays or any anniversaries, and I don't have but one announcement, and that's Saturday, April the 30th at the Union Mills Learning Center, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Springtime at the Mills vendor event. Over 60 vendors will be on site with various crafts and items, no admission. Raffle tickets available for sale. And so far, that's all I know of going on. So I guess you better go to Ellenberg and check on Luther Sweet Thing and see if he's all right.
I'll check on him. You behave yourself up there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you later.
All right, bye. And that is Union Mills reporting in. Now we're going over to Ellenboro in just a moment.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford-Ton.
Our next game that we'll be broadcasting with the Braves will be Wednesday, tomorrow. They have a daytime game at 3:10 first pitch against the Dodgers, and we'll have that game for them. Then they take Thursday off, and then they'll come back with the Marlins, the series with the Marlins. We'll have a lot of those games, so stay with us. And we still have some Brave schedules. If you like those pocket schedules, have around your house, in your office, or in your pocket, come by and pick up some. We have those available for you right here at WCAB. Now let's head over toward Ellenberg and see what Luther Gilligan's doing this morning. How you doing, sir?
Hey, we're doing great there. Sitting watching the sun come up.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's working on it. You come up through the, I see it peeping through the trees.
Yeah.
Well, they're like across the creek, some big trees. It looks like we're going to have a nice day today. Might be a few clouds this afternoon, but other than that, we're going to have a good time. But it's quiet there, and nothing's going on. Everything is peaceful. Fire department, they didn't have anything yesterday, last night. Everything's going good. But hey, we're going to have something going on there Sunday. 2 o'clock, I heard the community church. That's on Main Street there in downtown Ellenberg. Going to be having a music show there. Going to be having the Golden Valley Singers in concert there. 2 o'clock next Sunday, and they have the Black Mountain Singers with them also. They want everybody to just come on out there, and the love offer takes it up at the end. That's next Sunday at 2 o'clock. And Jim, nothing else happening right here, so you have a great day up there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you then, Luther. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care now.
All right, it's birthday time, anniversary time for this 19th day of the month. April 19th, if you're having a birthday today, we'd love to know that and love to celebrate with you. So call us now, 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up, 287-3356. And we'll celebrate and give you a big shout-out on your birthday. Now it's breakfast time at Granny B's. They open on today. They close on Mondays. Open today, 6:30 until 11, serving breakfast. And you get pretty much a breakfast that you want, including pancakes, including eggs fixed any way you want to, including bacon, sausage, and liver butts, and including some delicious specialty coffee. Why don't you try breakfast there one time and see if you like it? I know you will. And then while you're there, be sure you take a little room for some delicious daylight donuts to take back to work with you. Granny B's for breakfast or lunch or afternoons. Right in Spindale on Main Street next to the Shake Shop.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday wishes going out to Tammy Green. Tammy's 54 today. And Pam Upton's having a birthday. So congratulations, Pam, on her 63rd birthday. Also birthdays today include Elliot Ness. 1903 he was born, U.S. federal agent that put away Al Capone. He died in 1937. 1930, Dick Sargent was born, died in 1994. 1933, Jane Mansfield was born, died in 1967. And 1946, Tim Curry was born. Some of the events on this day include the American Revolution started with the shot heard around the world in 1775. First Boston Marathon was held in 1897. Shirley Temple appeared in her first feature film. 1948, ABC TV network debuted. 1971, Charles Manson was sentenced to life in prison. This is also National Garlic Day. Can you smell it? Also National Hanging Out Day. That's what I like to do sometimes, just hang out. Don't do that much anymore. And National North Dakota Day. So now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB in Rutherford. Coming up, 8:30 this morning, my interview with Aaron Ellenberg, all here live in the Blue Room.
Uncontrolled debt can be a cruel master that divides and often conquers the best of marriages and relationships. One couple found their marriage on the verge of collapse because of the weight of debt. They were sick and tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul and pouring money into maintaining what they hadn't even paid for yet. In desperation, they counseled with their pastor, who reminded them of a childhood slogan. He asked them to remember back to a grade school street crossing phrase that told them to stop, look, and listen. He then asked them to consider 3 small questions to help them to control their spending. Those 3 questions were, do I need it? Can I afford it? Can I live without it? All too frequently, couples try to live beyond their means. They have too much month left over at the end of their money. Credit is often easy to obtain, and soon the couple finds the depressing burden of trying to meet monthly obligations for bills incurred for things bought last year or even the year before. Someone has estimated that approximately 90% of all family quarrels are over money or its misuse. If you are deeply in debt and it is causing strife in your home, why not seek someone to give you good counsel? Also, ask yourself 3 simple questions before each purchase. Do I need it? Can I afford it? Can I live without it? This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
The music's on up.
The full-scale Russian operation in the east has started. Its goal to establish complete control over the territory of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, as well as maintaining a land corridor with Crimea. He also claims that Russian ally Belarus continues to provide its territory for airstrikes on Ukraine. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
In the capital of Afghanistan and Kabul, there were multiple explosions targeting schools today. At least 6 people were killed, 17 injured, including students at those schools. On planes and public transit in this country, no more masks. ABC's Gio Benitez is at Newark Airport.
Travelers maskless on planes and walking through airports after a federal judge in Florida striking down the mask mandate on public transportation. The Biden administration saying masks are no longer required on planes, trains, buses, and transportation hubs. The judge, appointed by former President Trump, saying the mandate exceeds the CDC's statutory authority and violates the procedures required for agency rulemaking.
Not everyone agrees with the decision. Dr. Alok Patel with Stanford Children's Health says it's not fair to many.
I just feel for those out there who have children under the age of 5 or people who are immunocompromised who are essentially being told to fend for themselves in this environment.
Moderna is saying today it hopes to offer an updated COVID-19 booster shot this fall that combines the original vaccine with protection against the Omicron variant. Studies are underway to see if a combination shot targeting the specific variant is successful. President Biden hits the road today to talk about the bipartisan infrastructure law he says will help strengthen the nation's supply chains. You're listening to ABC News.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Catastrophic flooding in South Africa set off by 2 weeks of rain, now blamed for more than 400 deaths. Dozens of people are still missing. ABC's Maggie Ruley is there.
The historic rains washing out roads, obliterating bridges, tossing vehicles into homes. Tens of thousands now homeless. Rescuers wading through waist-deep floodwaters with search dogs, at times even swimming, looking for the more than 48 people still unaccounted for.
The president of South Africa blaming climate change for the flooding. Police in Stockton, California, trying to figure out a motive after a man stabbed a 15-year-old girl to death at her high school. John Ramirez Jr. is the school superintendent.
When the incident happened, there were staff immediately there. It happened so quick that they weren't able to stop it, but they were there immediately, hence why the assailant was able to be detained and taken into custody immediately.
Police think the attack on Alicia Renega may have been random. Sources now tell ABC News that Kimberly Guilfoyle, fiancée of Donald Trump Jr., spent about 9 hours answering questions from the January 6th committee. And it seems like a lot of us like to share, at least when it comes to sharing streaming services. A recent study says about a third of Netflix subscribers share passwords with people outside their homes. The LA Times says that kind of sharing could be costing streaming services up to $25 billion a year. This is ABC News.
If you work remote, Staples has you covered.
A mid-mod desk chair to rejuvenate my ho-hum workspace.
Staples has you covered.
A gaming chair for a serious competitor.
A super stylish desk that will save me space and money.
Staples has you covered with remote workspace products and design tips curated by Jasmine Roth and Staples Work From Home Style Squad. Now save up to $100 on select chairs. Explore solutions for your remote workspace at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 4/30. Limit 2 in-store only.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Good morning. A cool April day in the forecast, but lots of sunshine. High temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s and windy as well. Tonight, a threat of a frost. Clear skies with low temperatures falling into the mid to upper 30s, but it should be our last concern for frost of the season. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, starting a warm-up. High temperatures in the mid to upper 60s with a warm-up continuing through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
Well, it's a sunny morning outside. It's going to be a pretty good day once it warms up. Right now it's 41, but we will be getting up, I think today, around 65 for the daytime high, with some wind gusting to about 15 miles per hour. Not a bad day for a Tuesday, the 19th day of April. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock, and Tuesday is Andrew Tisdale Day in the Blue Room, and we'll talk to him in just a moment. Our friends at C.F. Reese & Son Supply Company are inviting you and your friends to the open house and still demo days Friday and Saturday, April 22nd and Saturday, April 23rd. There will be free hot dogs, door prizes, and demonstrations of some of the great lines of steel products. It will be fun days, informative days, and delicious hot dog days. Make your plans to attend this big open house at 831 North Main Street, Rutherford. You know about their rich history in the county. Now learn more about their being selected to be the Steel Outdoor Equipment Headquarters, Friday, April 22nd from 10 to 3 and Saturday, April 23rd, 10 until 2. That's C.F. Reese & Son Supply Company. They've got it going on. Right now, let's turn our attention to Andrew Tisdale, who's the financial advisor with Edward Jones, making sense of investing. And Andrew always makes sense. We always glad to have you in the Blue Room, Andrew.
My pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
How was Easter?
Oh, it was great. Had a good Easter. Had the family in, most all of them.
Well, good.
How's yours?
It was great. It was great. Had deviled eggs, potato salad.
Oh yeah.
You know, ham.
Yeah. So did we.
All of our holidays, I always just look forward to food for some reason. I love food.
Yeah, we couldn't have asked for a more beautiful day on Easter Sunday than that way.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
What you got on your mind today?
With low unemployment rate and a booming economy like we had, we all thought, everything's going great, and we don't think about recession. But recently, the Federal Reserve has decided they're going to start raising interest rates. We have a global conflict. Everything's happening. So things are pointing to a possible recession coming on. So I just want to talk about, what do we do about our investments during a recession? The best investments during a recession is not necessarily what you would think. As a matter of fact, the rationale is simple. After stocks have fallen, investors are actually going to get a lower price for the newer prices for these companies. Too many people will make the mistake as that once everything falls is when they pull out. But actually during a recession, the market typically falls before the recession, kind of what we're experiencing, and all of these things become at a better price. So here is 4 things to consider about investing. 1, look at the S&P 500 funds. Those stocks that are in the S&P 500, maybe some mutual funds that are just right into the S&P 500. Think about dividend stocks. Dividend stocks are companies that you buy into, and a dividend is something they're going to pay you for being part owner of that. So you're going to get something in return no matter what. And the lower the price of the stock is, the higher the yield for that dividend is. Also, consider some high yield savings accounts that's out there, because now that actually prices are going up or interest rates are going up, there's going to be some higher yielding savings accounts, and that's a good thing to have some short-term investments in for that purpose. And a recession is not a time to get really fearful. It's actually a time to take advantage of something instead of just putting everything in cash.
Something to think about this day and time with things as they are. Inflation coming on, prices skyrocketing. So it's good to have you in to talk about those kind of things.
Well, if I'm actually sitting in a bank and I'm even now maybe earning, say, 1%, and inflation's going up 3 or 4, am I actually making any money, or am I losing money? I
think you're probably losing some.
Be losing a little bit there. Even though my value doesn't fall, my buying power does.
Yeah. Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones, not Railroad Avenue anymore, it's Charlotte Road, but phone number still the same, 287-9197. Or you can reach him at andrew.tisdale@edwardjones.com.
Been a pleasure
to have you in the Blue Room.
As always. I hope you have a great week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you see the Braves, though? Freddie Freeman hit a home run against the Braves last night.
Did he really?
He did. He did.
Wow.
And the Braves got beat.
Braves are going to have to find their mojo.
They do that every now and then.
World champions last year. They got to come back and prove themselves again.
That's right. That's right.
We won't think it's a fluke that happened.
That's right.
You got to prove it again.
That's right. Everybody have a great day.
See you now. 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Coming up, news from here and there. 8:30 this morning. My guest will be Aaron Ellenberg.
Law enforcement is a tough job. Hello, I'm Theo, and I'm running for sheriff. I bring 20-plus years of experience. I'm the only candidate for sheriff that has served as a state trooper and federal agent. I would like to bring that experience into the county I love and want to protect. I am a tough on-crime law enforcement officer, and when elected, I am committed to shutting down the drug houses and making our county safe for our kids and grandkids again. I would like the opportunity to meet you and answer any questions you have. Let's win this battle together. Vote for Theo for Sheriff Tuesday, May 17th. Paid for by Steve Theodoropoulos, Republican for Sheriff.
How hot is the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery? Well, with a top prize of $700,000 and a bonus game on the back, people everywhere are hot to trot, in hot pursuit, and hot on the trail of these little hotcakes. So get out of your hot tub, put on your hot pants, and hot rod on over to strike while the iron is hot and pick up the new Scorching Hot 7 scratch-offs before someone else starts their hot streak and you find yourself left out in the cold. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 3.65. Problem gambling. Helpline 877-718-5543.
Keep in mind the Friends of the NRA event is coming up Tuesday, May 10th, and Del Ramsey would like for you to come. If you would like to get in touch with him, he can make arrangements for you. 828-429-0392 is his phone number. Call. It's going to be Tuesday, May 10th, 5:30 at the Tryon Equestrian Center. And always plenty of good food out there, a lot of fun, a lot of auctions for guns, and a lot of prizes to win. So maybe you can make your friends an opportunity to go do that. May 10th, contact Dale Ramsey at 828-429-0392. Some of the stories from here and there we'll look at briefly. Rutherford County residents are asked to save their unused or out-of-date medications and turn them in at the next Operation Medicine Drop Take-Back event. That's scheduled for Saturday, April 30th. The event will be at Rutherford County Senior Center on Callahan-Coon Road in Spindale from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. This will be a drive-through event, and participants are asked to follow the cones to the back of the building. United Way of Rutherford County has organized medicine drop events for years and often collects tens of thousands of doses of potentially harmful drugs. A primary purpose of the medicine drop events is to keep medications out of the hands of would-be abusers. Another benefit, however, is that proper disposal of these drugs means that they are not harming the environment but polluting waterways. Water systems if they're simply poured down a sink or flushed down the toilet. We don't want that to happen. Sheriff Chris Francis commented about this on his report this morning. He said, United Way of Rutherford County is pleased to work with our longtime partners to host the local drug take-back event. Suzanne Porter said she's glad to be able to work with the Sheriff's Department again. She's the United Way Executive Director. Officials remind the public that Medicine Drop can accept most drugs except for any type of radioactive chemotherapy drugs. Also, Medicine Drop can't accept syringes. Medicine lock boxes will be given away at the Medicine Drop event while supplies last. Daily Courier is also reporting that the North Carolina Judicial Voter Guide for the 2022 primary election is now available online at the NC Board of Elections website. The guide contains information about candidates for the Supreme Court of North Carolina and North Carolina Court of Appeals who have primary contests in 2022. There are no Democratic or Libertarian primaries for appellate court seats in 2022, and Democratic candidates who file for this office have no primary opposition and will advance to the general election and will be on the ballot in November. For the appellate courts, there are 3 contested Republican nominations, 1 for the Supreme Court and 2 for the Court of Appeals in the May 17th primary. The 7 candidates included in the primary voter guide will be the only appellate court candidates who appear on the ballot in the Republican Party primary. To vote in the Republican primary, one must be a registered Republican or an unaffiliated voter who chooses the ballot of candidates for the Republican Party. The North Carolina Supreme Court is the state's highest court. 1 Chief Justice and 6 Associate Justices review cases from the North Carolina Court of Appeals. the North Carolina Business Court in cases in which the death penalty has been imposed. The NC Court of Appeals reviews cases first decided in district and superior courts, as well as appeals from administrative agencies. Currently, 15 judges sit on the rotating panels of 3, considering errors in legal procedure or in judicial interpretation of the law. Supreme Court and Court of Appeals judges serve 8-year terms. One-stop early voting begins Thursday, April 28th. That'll be next week, and ends Saturday, May 14th. The deadline to submit an absentee ballot request for the primary election is May 10th. Any North Carolina registered voter may request, receive, and vote a mail-in absentee ballot. No special circumstances or reason is needed. Registered North Carolina voters must request an absentee ballot with an official NC absentee ballot request form. You'll find all that information by going to the Board of Elections or available at rutherfordcountync.gov. 15 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. We've got a sports update coming up here in just a few moments. 9:05 this morning is My Great America with Jim and Butch. 8:30, the interview with Aaron Ellenberg coming up here in the Blue Room.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or by appointment only on Saturdays. The Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recall devices, you can call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras, now half price. So come by our Home Equipment Department on West Main Street in Forest City. Smith's Drugs, 245-4591.
If you need a recliner and would like to pay half price for it, get out to the Recliner Center during the going out of business sale. Also some love seats out there, half price. The chair you've been wanting is there for you. Love seat in the store, and it's your chance to get it. Check on the mattresses available during the going out of business sale at the Recliner Center. It won't last long out there either, so make sure you go out there. And the Recliner Center is open for this sale Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock until 6 o'clock, and Saturdays 10 till 3. So don't miss it. There'll be no deliveries with these special prices, but if you'd like to have some of these furniture, be sure to go by there real soon. Well, a couple of other things quickly before we get to the sheriff's report. I'd like to keep you posted on these kind of things, folks, because I know we get involved in our schedules and we sometimes don't know what's happening, what the cultural war is all about, and we need to know that so you can stand strong and be bold against it. The University of Oklahoma hosted Drag Queen Story Hour, geared toward small children as young as 2 years old, just days after hosting its annual Dragonfly Drag Show. University of Oklahoma. As part of the school's Pride 2022 campaign, 2 local drag queens read books highlighting inclusion and acceptance to the children and led come-and-go craft activities. The Pride 2022 webpage states that activities are geared towards ages 2 to 8, but all ages are welcome to join in on the fun. However, the flyer advertising was a little bit misleading to some folks, but there was a drag queen there, story hour, drag queen reading stories to the kids and reading stories to the kids about the inclusion of being something that you're not, and that's some of our major universities. Just listen to this one. One more, and I got to make room for the sheriff's report. Students at a Methodist institution, and when I tell you which institution this is, you may drop your coffee cup. Students at a Methodist institution pray to Great Queer One, Duke Chapel at Duke Divinity School. Inevitably, that leftist divinity students would end up making gods in their own image. Inevitable. When we give them a lynch, they take a mile. A report from Hope Rawlson at the blog for Institute on Religion and Democracy has documented that students at Duke Divinity School, which is affiliated with the United Methodist Church, have held a Pride worship service to pray to the Great Queer One. Folks, I don't make this stuff up. I promise you I do not make this stuff up. She revealed Divinity Pride, a student group affirming the dignity, faithfulness, and strength of lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, and gender sexuality nonconforming Christians. Held event. If you have to put that many names behind what you believe in, I'll tell you, the posting explained, criticizing the church, Justice Mitchell, a first-year MDiv student, Master of Divinity student, stated, "In the pews we listen to the pastor who preaches about commandments, condemning those who disobey, predicting a future of fire and turmoil. However, Mitchell believes that we can become holy, we can become worthy, we can become valued, even as we remain queer, even as we discover our own queer God, whose presence is within these walls." Yep. That's what's out there, folks. That's Duke Divinity School. Can you imagine turning theologians and ministers out of this college and them going to the pulpits? The message they're going to preach to young people and children in the church, if they believe they could worship a queer God. Folks, there is a cultural war going on like you would not believe out there. It's time we paid attention, wake up, and started speaking up against it. 21 past 8 o'clock, and Sheriff Chris Francis was on with us earlier this morning, gave us a report, and here it is.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 167 calls for service. There have been 12 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 181. Among those arrested, Tariq Lannon Logan, 34-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply child support, received a $900 cash bond. Caitlin Page Smith, 28-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear of felonies and received a $10,000 secure bond. Kyle Reese Ledford, 39-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $2,000 secure bond. Juan Ibarra, 36-year-old male of Boston, was charged with assault by pointing a gun, communicating threats, and assaulting a female. We'll see a district court judge today for bond. Jamie Helen Bradshaw, 34-year-old female, was charged with impeding traffic and some failure to appear and is incarcerated on a secure bond. Pauline Michelle Melton, 31-year-old female of Forest City, was charged with failure to comply, ordered for arrest, received a $300 cash bond. Aaron Nicholas Langley, 30-year-old male of Mooresboro, was charged on 3 counts of failure to appear and is also incarcerated on secure bonds. Deborah Marv Lowry, 38-year-old female of Boston, was charged with possession of meth, received a $10,000 unsecured bond. Brooke McCurry Tipton, 39-year-old female of Ellenberg, was charged on 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $1,500 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a break-in in Larstown on Airwood Road in Rutherford. We are pinning the inventory on that. Had a damaged property on High Shoals Church Road in Mooresboro. There were several windows broken out there on that property. And we had a larceny on Poors Ford Road. Someone had allowed, the victim had allowed the suspect to use their vehicle, and when the vehicle was returned, an iPhone 13, about $800, was stolen or taken, and do believe that there was obtained property by false pretense that was sold for $300, but that is still under investigation. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
We want to say thank you to the bosses who have already nominated their secretaries or office managers or administrative assistants to our Secretary Week promotion. Thank you, bosses, for thinking of your ladies or gentlemen. And those of you who have not yet done so, do that yet, because that drawing will be coming up here. It looks like next week, yes, or mighty close. So get that in, get it to us over here. The name of your office manager, your secretary, with the company they represent, and get that to us, and we'll supply them with a good day out. Not all day, just for lunch, and give them some prizes and some flowers, and we'll make them feel good for you, boss. So be sure to get that into us as soon as you can. You can fax it to me at 828-287-7182, or you can email it to me at jimbishop@nctv.com, or you can drop it by here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherford. Now, getting pretty close to the deadline, so mailing it, I guess, would be okay. So as long as we have it in our hand by drawing time. Now, Sports Update is next, and then Aaron Ellenberg in the studio with me. Talk about his candidacy.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Carolina Hurricanes snapping a 2-game skid last night with a 5-3 win over the Coyotes in Arizona. Sebastian Aho scored his 36th goal of the season midway through the final frame as the Hurricanes weathered an Arizona comeback. The two teams trading 6 goals in the second period, 3 apiece. And with the win, they regained sole possession of the Metropolitan Division, 2 points over the Rangers. Head coach Rod Brindamore afterward was asked to grade the team's overall performance.
It was okay. Definitely created enough chances, and I gave up a few too many good looks, and they capitalized. But overall, take the 2 points for sure. We needed it.
Carolina now with 106 points on the season, 2 more than the Rangers, and they've got 2 more regulation wins, which is the first tiebreaker. The Hurricanes have 5 games left on the regular season schedule. The Rangers have 6. The teams will meet again in New York on April 26th. Now to the NBA playoffs, where Joel Embiid had 31 points and 11 boards to lead the 76ers in a 112-97 win over the Raptors in Game 2 of their Eastern Conference playoff game. Game 3 is tomorrow in Toronto. Jalen Brunson scored a career-high 41 points. Max Kleber had 25 with 8 of Dallas's playoff record 22 made three-pointers, and the Mavericks won Game 2 against Utah 110-104 to even their first-round series. Game 3 is Thursday in Utah. And Steph Curry came off the bench for a second straight game. Showed he's healthy at last. He had 34 points to lead the Warriors past the Denver Nuggets 124-106, and Golden State now has a 2-0 lead in their best-of-7 playoff. Big man from Duke, Mark Williams, announced he's entering the NBA draft. The 7'1", 242-pound sophomore announced the decision in a social media video on Monday. He's ranked as the number 18 draft prospect by ESPN. This is NCN Sports.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Do you believe that something great can be even better? We do. By adding sweetened peaches to creamy peach ice cream, Bluebell has raised the bar on flavor. Try a half-gallon or pint of Peachy Peach today. You'll be better for it.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
The NFL's Washington Commanders have denied several allegations of financial impropriety in a letter written to the Federal Trade Commission. The 105-page letter, including testimony, emails, and other documents, comes as a response to lawmakers asking the FTC to look into the team's business practices. The letter denies the Commanders at any point withheld ticket revenue from visiting teams and the league or kept fans from getting refundable ticket deposits back. Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward has agreed to a 5-year, $100.5 million contract extension with the Cleveland Browns. The deal includes more than $71 million of guaranteed money, according to someone who's seen the package. Vanderbilt guard Scottie Pippen Jr. is entering the NBA draft and signing with an agent. He announced his decision in a social media post yesterday. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Good morning. A cool April day in the forecast, but lots of sunshine. High temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s and windy as well. Tonight, a threat of a frost. Clear skies with low temperatures falling into the mid to upper 30s, but it should be our last concern for frost of the season. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, starting a warm-up. High temperatures in the mid to upper 60s with a warm-up continuing through the weekend. I'm meteorologist Kat Campbell in the Weather Center.
On Saturday, April 30th, South Mountain Christian Camp is hosting an open house and free banquet meal, and you're invited. At the open house, the first item on the agenda will be the dedication of our new barrel train in memory of longtime supporter Dusty Rhodes. Following the dedication, we'll offer barrel train rides around the camp, driving tours in the camp van, and walking tours led by some of our former summer staff members. We'll also have drinks and snacks available, and we'll be giving away free copies of Footsteps of Faith by Steve Collins and Fingerprints of God by O.A. Fish. You can also check out the construction progress on our new multipurpose building. At 6 p.m., we'll have our free banquet meal. Dress comfortably. This event's held in our gym. During the meal, you'll have a chance to hear from camp founders O.A. and Charlotte Fish, hear a testimony from a former camper, and enjoy the presentation of our summer camp theme. You'll also enjoy the premiere of our newest camp video, get updates about everything happening at South Mountain, and hear heartwarming stories of campers who have encountered Jesus here. Join us on April 30th at 3 p.m. for the open house and 6 p.m. for the banquet. Remember, there's no cost involved. Everything is free. If you'd like to come, you can RSVP at southmountainchristiancamp.org or give us a call at 245-3322. That's southmountainchristiancamp.org or call 245-3322.
It's 8:30 this morning on Tuesday morning here at WCAB, and we're continuing our interviews with the candidates seeking election. Now, this week is the sheriff's race, and first off this morning is Aaron Ellenberg, who is a Republican candidate for sheriff. He's with us. Aaron, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Tim.
Glad to have you today.
Yes, sir.
First of all, tell our audience about yourself, your family, your background.
Jim, I was raised here in Rutherford County, December 1978, here at Rutherford Hospital. Grew up in the Gilkey community. I have 3 boys, 20, soon to be 18, and soon to be 16. I have 3 stepchildren. My first wife, she passed away with cancer in 2010. I was remarried later on to my wife, Nikki. We reside in the Union Mills area, the county.
I think for a lot of folks remember your first wife, the battle she went through, and a lot of benefits were done on her behalf, too. It was quite a touching situation.
Yes, I was very touched. I'm blessed to have the citizens of Rutherford County. You know, they've supported me throughout the years, and I've been very blessed.
Tell us about your background in law enforcement.
Background in law enforcement, went to basic law enforcement in 1999, graduated ICC. I started at Rutherford Police Department in 1999 under Randy Greenway, being the chief there. I was there till June of 2000 when I went to Forest City and got my full-time position there at Forest City. Worked there till believed to be January 2004, where I left and went to the sheriff's office here in Rutherford County. Worked there till October of 2005. Got the opportunity to go work with the North Carolina DMV License and Theft Bureau as a state law enforcement agent in October 2005, and that's where I still work today.
What, in your mind, what do you see as the biggest problem facing the citizens of Rutherford County today?
Well, the biggest issue, and it ain't just Rutherford County, it's nationwide, is our drug epidemic. It's really took a toll on our county.
If elected, sure, how do you propose to handle that?
Well, one thing, I'm a very big component on our youth, and done some research, talked to Sheriff Lowell Griffin in Henderson County. He's actually implemented a STAR program that I'm looking to adopt. It basically takes the place of the DARE program and the GREAT program. My understanding, we're having a hard time getting our officers certified to teach the GREAT program now, but now we can send our officers up to Henderson County to be certified. And the STAR program, I'm just going to read off some things to you. We're going to implement it in the 5th, 7th, and 9th grade. I think if we start out touching our youth, I think that's going to help them understand how bad this situation is. We need to catch them young. So basically it covers good citizenship and what influences our behaviors, good decision making, consequences, alcohol, tobacco, e-cigarettes, vapes, marijuana, inhalants, other illegal drugs, users, statistics, ways to say no, prescription drugs, awareness and safety, health consequences of behavior from abusing drugs. Basically, this program allows the school nurses to come in and be able to teach this block. So also, it goes into bullying, responsible behavior using electronic means. Briefly touching on two severe forms of bullying: human trafficking and gangs, gun safety. So this touches on a wide spread of things just for our youth. And implemented in the 7th and 9th grade, I think, is getting more hitting home to these, where these behaviors are starting. Also, we're looking to take our narcotics unit from a 4-man unit to an 8-man unit. Looking at trying to get more officers on the road. We have to work within the budget. That's going to help out on the drug issues. One big thing that touched my heart is I had a mom, grandmother, reach out to me about her daughter on drugs. And she's raising her grandchildren. And she said, "Aaron, we need help." And my first wife, Kristen, she was from Lenore area, and I knew about a Bethel Colony of Mercy that her church helped fund up there. And so me and a couple preachers, we went up there and toured that facility. It's a 90-day drug rehab facility. It's all faith-based. It's proven, it works. I would like to implement something like that, or help have it implement here in Rutherford County. We've got a lot of great resources in Rutherford County. I want to work with the DAs, the judges, to help us try to reach out and the citizens come together. This is how we're going to fight this. The system is hard to deal with itself, but us as citizens, we can come together and help these people to make our county better, and that's what I want to do.
Other than the drugs, we all agree that drugs are certainly a problem here. Other than drugs, what else can you do as a sheriff to help make our citizens safer?
Well, the biggest thing is some complaints I've heard throughout the county is, response time. We're limited on number of officers we have due to our county budget. But we have to look at resources within and try to restructure to get our officers, more officers on the road. If you wear a badge for me, you can answer a call. Biggest thing is officer safety. I want my officers to go home at the end of the shift. But also we have to take care of our citizens, and I'm very big on that. I've prided myself for making sure when I'm out here taking care of my people that I do a good job for them.
I think a lot of folks agree that the sheriff's department is understaffed. Is there anything that can be done as a sheriff to remedy that personnel shortage, or is that monies have to come from the county commissioner's budget, or how will you handle that?
Well, basically, the money's going to definitely have to come from the county commissioners, but we're going to look at maybe the part-time monies that's allotted. A lot of different things we're going to look at amongst the staff to see what we can do to change some things up to where we can get more road officers out at working at any given time.
Real important question. If you're elected sheriff, will you continue having the morning report given by the sheriff's department every day?
Yes, we will. I know that's very important to the citizens, and that's honestly something that I've listened to for many years myself.
Yeah. Have you decided who you will put in strategic positions to help run the department? If so, who? Yes,
I have. Randy Greenway, which took me on as a young officer, as I mentioned to start with, at Rutherford Police Department. He's just an amazing person. He's taught majority of us officers over the years. Got a great respect for him. Randy is, he should be at home right now with his grandchildren, but he's excited. When I went to him to ask him if he'd do this, he basically said he would do it for nothing. That's how much desire he has to help this county. So he's going to bring a lot of tremendous asset to our county, resources. He's got a background with the SBI, with a drug enforcement on the federal side. So the resources he's going to bring to our sheriff's office is going to be amazing. So I'm excited about that.
As you campaign across the big county that we have, what did you find most surprising about running for sheriff in this campaign?
staying so busy. This has been an experience in itself, working a full-time job, taking care of children, having 3 ball games a week, then out, I'm trying to hit every area that I can. So I'm staying very busy.
And so you aren't taking any time off your regular job to campaign. You're still on the job.
I'm still working every day. I asked off this morning. I told them I'd be in at 9:30.
Yeah.
So, thankfully my work, they've been very flexible with me. They understand. So.
Yeah. What are the people across the county saying to you when you campaign, shake their hand, ask them for you? What's on their minds?
A lot of it is, the drug issues have come up. Response times come up. We've had some issues, with the corruption stuff, just because it's been spread through the communities. Basically, my answer to that is show me and we'll deal with it. So other than that, that's about it. People are excited. I've worked this county for a long time, know many people. They know what I stand for.
Is your campaign remaining clean, and are you? I've seen in the years sheriff's candidates, sheriff races have gotten really down in the mud. You see that happening here, viewers?
Yes. The biggest thing is I just tried to stay calm, stay focused on what I have to do, and we're not going to be doing that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to stand for it. Things have got back to me. It hurts, but we just have to move forward.
What makes you a better candidate for the job of sheriff than your opponent?
Biggest thing is, I'm from Rutherford County. I know the people already involved. We know the players out here. The officers, I work shoulder to shoulder with them on a daily basis anyways. I mean, it's probably not a day goes by they don't call me. I'm assisting on some type of investigation. Just resources that I have access to where they don't.
We always give the candidate the last word. After we have questions I want to ask you, they give you a chance to say the last word to the audience. It's something maybe we haven't covered.
Well, the biggest thing is, I'm not running for fame or anything. This is my county. I've taken pride in. I love my county. I'm wanting to make this county great again. This county has blessed me, as we've talked about earlier. I just want to give back, make a difference, make the citizens proud of our sheriff's office. I want the officers to be proud to work at the sheriff's office. I'm excited if given this opportunity, we can make it happen. We can do it together. Make this a good office. And, we've got some great officers there now. They work hard, and I'm very thankful for the staff that they have there now. But going in, I just think that we can look at some things different and make some tweaks and move forward and make the county proud.
If somebody wanted to learn more about you and your candidacy, what's the best way to get in touch with your campaign?
Basically, I'm on Facebook, Aaron Ellenberg for Sheriff. That's basically the only resource. I don't have no website or anything. And most people knows how to get in touch with me. Just give me a call, and I'll help you out.
Aaron Ellenberg, candidate for sheriff on the Republican primary, coming up here in a couple of weeks. You got a lot of miles to cover yet before it's over with, right?
Yep, a lot of miles. Big county, got 67,000 people roughly, 566 square miles. We have got a big area.
Thank you for being with us, and stay safe on the road.
Thank you very much, Jim.
I'll be back in just a moment. Now, coming up on Thursday, his opponent, Theo, will be here in the Blue Room taking questions about his candidacy as well. I'll be back in just a moment.
Be careful. 100.9 FM and 590 AM may be good for your health. Positive, family-friendly radio for the foothills.
Coming up this morning at 9:05 is My Great America with Jim and Butch, another interesting program we do every Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. My Great America with Jim and Butch will be here. Butch is on the road somewhere, and he'll be via telephone, but I'll be here in the Blue Room, and we'll talk about some things on the hearts and minds of us as we celebrate the great country that we live in. Now, as I mentioned, the next interview will be Thursday morning, same time, same station, same Blue Room. And Theo will be in to talk about his candidacy. And then after this week, we move into the school board races. And there are many of those, a lot more people running in school board than ever before, I guess I can think of. I'm not sure about that, but a lot of people running. And some of them have agreed to be on the program, and some of them have not. Some of them have ignored the invitation altogether. We'll find out who that is. Now, the way this was set up, and there is a lot of stuff going on out there that's trying to insinuate that I'm trying to pull some kind of pranky stuff in favor of certain candidates. A lot of you, ladies and gentlemen, those who have been with me a long time know that I don't try to pull any kind of stuff on this program. I do these interviews free of charge and never pay for it. And it's strictly to give you an opportunity to learn more about them. I never do a gotcha kind of interview with them during this time. The gotcha type things come later after they've done their job or not done their job. Then we do some gotcha questions. But these questions are not for gotcha questions. These are to get you better acquainted so you'll know more who they are and how to vote. But there are some folks out there grumbling right now that I didn't set up a time for the DA's interviews. Well, I didn't. But it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was because we limited on amount of time to set these up, and we had several school board members we wanted to get in. The DA's office, I didn't set up a time for the North Carolina House race, nor the North Carolina Senate race, of which we involved. 3 other offices were not scheduled because there's just not enough time. But there are those folks that's insinuating that I didn't do the DA's race because I have some kind of personal vendetta or personal favoritism or something. I want to assure you folks that absolutely is not accurate at all. Now, we don't know if these folks are, how far along they're going to stretch this thing out here, but I want you to know if they have opportunities to, if they want to get their message across, they have opportunities to buy some political ads, political time like other candidates are doing. But they have, some of them have not doing, some of them making this accusation that I'm favoring somebody. They have not been by to talk about purchasing political ads at all. That has nothing to do with it. But I want you to know that they are trying to cause trouble, accusing me of not interviewing the DA candidates because I have a favorite in that race. I haven't made up my mind yet who I'm voting for in any of the races. I've had people ask me already. I'm not telling you because I don't know yet. I haven't interviewed these folks yet. When I interview them, I'll make a better choice. When you get to know them better, you know more about them. So that's. I just want to calm that troubled waters out there, and it's on the social media page that's they're saying that Jim Bishop didn't set up a time, and I've explained that to one source that the reason I didn't because I didn't have the time to do it. I only have Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at this time to do interviews. I have paid programming Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays this time. And I'm in the business of making money and serving the community. And I can't serve the community if I don't make money in the business. So if I got paid programs in time slots, I'm not going to bump them to do free programming political candidates. I'll work out a time I can as best I can when I can. And hopefully most everybody understands that and agrees with that. But the local candidate, the ones who are running local in Rutherford County, all have opportunities to be on the program. Those who have multi-counties, more than one county, McDowell, Polk, places like that, I didn't put them on because there's just not room. So I just wanted to mention that because it's and I'm not brought down by it. I always try to be above board with you folks. You're my friends, and I always try to be as honest with you as I can. And when you see and hear these things, it's like they're painting this picture. It's kind of like the old saying, "Judge, did you beat your wife last night?" Well, there's no way he can answer that question right. If he says, "No, I didn't," then people are going to assume he must have beat her the night before. If he says, "Yes, I did," well, he's automatically caught. So they're making it sound like I'm purposely avoiding the DA's interviews. And I'm not. But, you know, Anyway, that's where that goes right now. But anyway, you'll probably hear more and more about it. And those of you who are on social media, you're lucky that you don't see all that stuff. And people are angry. The people who have anger in their hearts, they come after other people that they don't like, or they have these things that they think are doing something against them. There's a lot of anger pollution out there, as you've noticed that on the news. A lot of anger pollution. Some of these folks involved with campaigns, there's anger there. And they should be able to just go by the facts, find out more about the candidates, decide if they can do the best job, if they've done a good job, if they can do another good job for 4 more years, or whatever the case may be, and move from that point and not get caught up in lies and innuendos and fake news and those kind of things. All righty, with that said, let me see. I got maybe one other quick story here. The big race in the Senate, North Carolina Senate race, is heated up. McCrory and Budd still close in Senate campaign fundraising. McCrory, as you know, was former governor and lost his reelection. The U.S. Senate hopeful Ted Budd is benefiting from President Donald Trump's endorsement and super PAC's commitment to flood airways and mailboxes to help him as the May 17th primary approaches. But his rival and former governor, Pat McCrory, still has managed to stick close to Budd when it comes to head-to-head fundraising. Campaign finance reports for the first quarter show McCrory, the former governor, and current U.S. House member Budd collecting essentially the same level of contributions and other funds. McCrory's campaign said it raised $1.13 million through March 31st, compared to $1.125 million raised by Budd. According to reports due Friday with Federal Election Commission, McCrory also reported having more cash in his campaign off $2.2 million and compared to $1.9 million for Budd. McCrory, with a high name recognition for his time as governor, has outraised Budd in the second quarter of 2021 as word of Trump's June 2021 endorsement spread. But Budd and McCrory's numbers were about even in the third quarter, and Budd outraised McCrory by about $220,000 in the fourth quarter due to Trump's endorsement. Among other Republican Senate hopefuls, former Representative Mark Walker's campaign totals remain well behind those of Budd and McCrory. He was also outraised in the first quarter by first-time political candidate Marjorie Eastman of Cary. So they're in a head-to-head knock there with the Senate race in that taking over the seat that was formerly occupied by Senator Richard Burr, who decided not to run. Budd has had Trump's endorsement, which was on full display during a rally. McCrory has accused Washington-based Club for Growth of essentially buying support for Budd. Carolina Senate Fund, a super PAC supporting McCrory and opposing Budd, reported last week that he had collected $478,500 in the first quarter and had $752,000 entering April. In a separate filing, the organization said it had spent $117 on campaign funds. So it's getting